soldier called to active duty, and because he was called to active duty, he had to cancel a vacation he had already paid for and booked with his spouse. Well, he did the right thing by paying for travel insurance just in case if he got called into active duty. Well, guess what? This cruise line did not want to honor that travel insurance and did not want to issue a full refund, even though these circumstances were out of his control. Hello, everybody. My name is Jalen Jones, digital producer here at WRAL. We sit down with 5 of your sides, Keely Arthur, to talk about this exact case and what she did to help solve and help get this family the refund that they deserve. And we also pray for his safety as he is in active duty. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. You guys know her. You guys love her. 5 on your side herself, Keely Arthur. Welcome again. We always love talking to you. And right now, you know, springtime, summertime, travel, airplanes, travel insurance. That's kind of what we're talking about today. You have a very interesting story and a very beautiful solve today, helping out a wonderful couple. Talk to me about travel insurance.
Yeah, so we are in a situation, I think, where as being a consumer reporter for 5 on your side, I always advocate buying the insurance, buying the thing that will allow you to get the refundable ticket. Like, do those things, because a lot of times people will come to me and say, oh, you know, I'm not getting a refund for this flight and I had this catastrophic thing happen to me. But they purchased the ticket that would not give them a refund. So it's always really smart to pay a little extra money, get the thing that's refundable, err on the side of caution. And what really gets me frustrated, grinds my gears, is when somebody does all of that and then what they paid for really comes up short. They thought they were paying for one thing and they're ending up getting nothing at all. So that's the situation we're dealing with of a Fort Bragg military family. They're not married, but they have a child together. They're in a committed relationship. And the husband had, and you're going to hear me say husband, boyfriend. He had a deployment scheduled months from now. And knowing that was coming up, they booked a cruise, just the boyfriend, just the girlfriend, to get some alone time away from their 3 dogs, their baby. The woman's mom was going to come into town and watch them. And then they got the call that the deployment was getting moved way up. And obviously, it's the spring 2026. We are still dealing with the conflict in Iran. There's a lot going on.
A lot of things going on in the world.
Yes. And he, you know, any military family knows Call of Duty, everything is dropped. And he was basically put on notice, you're going to leave at some point soon.
Yes.
So they're kind of in this waiting period. They didn't know exactly when, but the cruise was April 13th. He ended up getting the call, I think, April 10th. He was bags packed up flying to the Middle East within 24 hours of that. So the moment they found out that this was probably not going to happen with the cruise, or that he was going to be gone, probably not going to be around for the cruise, they went to cancel it. And they had purchased, in addition to just like the normal ticket, they purchased something called cancel for any reason travel insurance. And it was basically sold as just that. No matter what happens, no matter when it happens, you can cancel for any reason.
They did the right thing.
They did the right thing. And then when the girlfriend went to claim the credit, she was told by the insurance company that military service in a declared or undeclared war was not covered as a reason for cancel for any reason.
That's tough to hear.
And so that's when she got me involved, and I can get into like kind of the nuances of that. But right when I heard this, I was like, oh, we absolutely need to take this story. They bought something called cancel for any reason, and they can't cancel for a deployment. Like, you've got to be kidding me.
Before you call Keely, you got to try everything on your own. You know, call and, you know, they did the right things and got the insurance as well. What additional steps did you take that helped solve or at least get back some of this money?
So I feel like, yes, you're right. Like, I need everybody to do everything they can in their own power to figure out the situation. And then I can step in from like a media standpoint. A lot of companies will say no to the viewer, the customer. And then when I get involved, they don't want the bad press. So then they'll fix it. And sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with like me figuring something out. It's just because I'm working for a television station, I have a platform, and they don't want to look bad.
This is why I say you got a superpower, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, and the superpower is the fact that it's, an NBC affiliate. So I contacted both. So it's a Royal Caribbean cruise. The travel insurance was purchased through Aon Insurance. Now, it was Royal Caribbean who was purchased this insurance. It was basically like Royal Caribbean's advertising to their customers, you should buy this. Yeah. And so I reached out to both of them. At this point, the family had gotten nothing. They were basically told they couldn't reschedule and they were going to be out all that money, $1,800. And I got involved. I was able to get Royal Caribbean to give them about $1,100, so $700 less than the total in credits and cash. So refunds and taxes, and then credits for abridged credits for another cruise. So they're going to still have to pay. But like I said, a lot of times I'm just, I just am sending emails to shine a spotlight, and then the company goes, oh, we don't want the bad press, and then they fix it. What I found here is both companies were still kind of digging their heels in. And so I went and read the full policy of the coverage, the cancel for any reason. And it's 20 pages long. Yes, undeclared, declared military service wars, that's not covered. But what I found was covered was something along the lines of if a military service member was on leave and it was approved, and then that leave was revoked. So he had to apply for leave to go on the vacation, and then if you're in the U.S. military, I know this because my husband was. You have to, and you're traveling abroad, you have to get leave for that. Like if you're leaving a certain distance, if you're going around and doing a staycation, you don't have to do that. But if you're a certain distance, you have to get leave approved. So he got the leave approved. It was revoked because of this emergency deployment. And then the clause said if you have your commanding officer writing a letter confirming that, then it is covered. Well, the family was never told that. So because they were never told that, they didn't know to do it. And now he's in the Middle East and has no cell service, no internet. It's very difficult to contact him. But the wife is working on getting the husband to do this and fill out his commanding officer to do that. So the story I've done is we got them as far as we could without the insurance coverage, but I think we're going to do a follow-up at some point saying, hey, we were able to kind of show the company their own policy and make them do what they say they're going to do according to their policy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I love that. And we're definitely praying for his safety as he's out there in the Middle East. And we also hopefully get this follow-up as well. I'm very interested in this story as well, especially because you do the right things as a consumer.
Yeah.
And you try to protect yourself. And then when, situations get out of your hands, what are you to do?
If it says cancel for any reason and then there's a million different reasons in the policy that you actually can cancel, I think that's really misleading. And you know what? People are busy. They're spending their hard-earned cash on this vacation. They're juggling with kids, military deployment. Nobody has the time to read a 20-page dense insurance policy thing. If it's advertised as cancel for any reason, it should more or less live up to that. The last thing I want to say, and I think we will probably do a follow-up to this podcast and YouTube, is for military families, and we know there's so many in our viewing area, USAA and other companies offer military-specific travel insurance.
Good to know.
So just make sure, whatever it is, if you have a demanding job or your industry is this or whatever, or you have a family member with a health issue, make sure the policy is going to cover what that is. Whatever is going to fit for your life, make sure there's coverage for that, because you need to do at least maybe 20 minutes of researching on that. Apparently, you cannot take the name of the policy as gold.
No, you cannot.
So that's my consumer advice there for both military families and non-military families. Just make sure what you're signing up for actually covers what situation you may be dealing with.
Absolutely, absolutely. As a consumer, the more options, the better.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Keely, where can people find you on the socials? Where can people find your reporting?
At Keely Arthur on Instagram and WRAL.com/5OnYourSide on our website and TikTok and all the things.
All the things. Always lovely to talk with you. Appreciate you.